Well, away from the politics of the EU-Mediterranean summit is the question of African migration to Europe and the hundreds who die each year in the search for a better life. Many of them end up on the tiny Italian island of Lampedusa. It's one of the main landing points for African migrants crossing the Mediterranean. We can now join Nick Clark, who's live for us in Lampedusa. Nick.
Yes, Jane, in fact you find us on the main quay in Lampedusa, a place where the daily issue of migration pans out all the time. It pans out every single day. There you can see the boats used by Frontex, that's the EU Border Patrol Agency, and the Italian Coast Guards. Every day they go out to sea to intercept the migrants. Now what happens is there are two rescue centres. There's one in Palermo in Sicily and there's one in Malta. And they, via spotter planes, via radar, via trawlers at sea, will get their information about incoming boats, and they'll advise these guys who go out and intercept them. But what is also happening is that the migrants themselves often have satellite mobile phones with GPS systems attached to them, so they can call the Coast Guards directly and tell them precisely where they are, and they go and pick them up. One guy here said that it's just like a glorified taxi service. Now, just to give you an idea of the kind of figures that we're talking about, this year alone, 10,000 migrants have arrived from Africa into Europe onto this quay. And that, as it happens, equates to exactly the number that have died making the attempt in the last 5 years. But of course, this isn't the only place that people from Africa, migrants from Africa, attempt to get into Europe. In fact, there are 3 entry points. First, there's the Canary Islands. 2 years ago, more than 30,000 Africans landed on its shores, but last year this dropped to 12,000. Mainland Spain detains around 8,000 illegal immigrants a year, and Lampedusa, where we are right now, received more than 10,000 illegal immigrants last year. For many migrants, their journeys end well before they're able to leave Africa, of course, and they get caught and deported, ending up in transit countries like Mauritania, like Mali and Niger. As Casey Kaufman now reports and shows us from Mali, many prefer to live in the squalid conditions of the so-called ghettos rather than return home.
Caesar left Cameroon 5 years ago to be a professional boxer. Back home, he was the oldest and most promising son, so his mother helped finance his journey to Europe. Spain was the destination, but he never made it. On his way, he was deported from Morocco and now he's stuck in Bamako, Mali. He lives in what they call the ghetto, and he is the ghetto chief.
We have all different nationalities here. There are Congolese, Ghanaians, Nigerians, Ivorians. This is the real African Union. We can't go back home because our parents went into debt to help us out. And we still haven't made it. I prefer to stay here and die than go back home and live in shame.
Many of those who set out on the journey to Europe are the ones with the most potential. Here in the ghetto, there are electricians, mechanics, and people with university degrees. But Caesar takes me to his friends he thinks have a special talent. Changi and Freestar also left Cameroon to pursue their careers. They rap about crossing borders and life without documents.
Deportation is tragic. I've been there. They throw you out in the desert, 700 kilometers away from anything, with no communications. And when you're there, you could kill to get out.